Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Champions League Challenge on Football Manager 2022, where we are with Steaua Bucharest in the top tier of Romania. And before I get into what we're going to have in this episode, I'm going to run through the matches that we've played off camera since the last episode. So we started things off with a league game against Dynamo Bucharest, and as you can see here, we won by 2-1. The turning point in this game was Maleke being sent off for a second bookable offence on the 60th minute. Up until that point, it was quite an even game, but then 3 minutes later, we got awarded the penalty. Huiban dispatched that. We did concede a goal 3 minutes later, but then Pasionel came up with the winning goal in the 70th minute, and we get our first victory. I think it's our first victory against any other Bucharest side. Definitely against Dynamo Bucharest. It's the first time we've beaten them. And after this match, we were 4 points clear of third place, meaning that we were almost guaranteed a top 2 finish, which would, of course, mean a European playoff place. Yes, that's how that phrase goes. Then we had an away game against Polytechnic at Timoswara, who were occupying one of the relegation places ahead of this game. And you could tell we rotated the side a little bit. So we had a few players that were on our full strength side. You can see Lonchar played in his defensive midfield role in this game. And we started things off with a bang. Suzniar putting us 1-0 up to celebrate him getting a new loan deal until the end of next season. So we've signed him on for another year. He's obviously played very well for us in his time with us. And then Moldovan scored a free kick on the 8th minute. A centre-back scoring a free kick. I mean, it's not unheard of, but this one wasn't a thunderbolt. It was just a lovely placed finish from Moldovan. Halep had a goal disallowed on the 10th minute, which could have been 3-0. Lazar got sent off for Polytechnic at Timoswara, and then we got awarded a penalty. Burel dispatched that penalty to get his first goal of the season, and then Huiban finished the scoring in the 42nd minute. So it was a 4-0 half-time victory that led us to the eventual full-time win. And this victory was the one that secured our top 2 finish in the relegation group of Casa Liga 1, meaning that the final league game against Sepsi only really mattered to see who would be at home for the European Places playoff. So with that in mind, despite the fact I said I would bring you the Sepsi game at the end of the last episode, in this episode, I played it off camera. We won. We actually won. We beat Sepsi 1-0. I played it off camera because I felt like there was nothing really to play for apart from seeding in the European Places semi-final, and I'd much rather bring you the European Places playoffs as far as we can go, whether that's just getting beaten in the semi-final or going all the way to the final. I say all the way, it's only 2 matches, but you know what I mean. We won. We won 1-0. Mitrovic with a very late winner in the 80th minute. Lonchar was brought on at half-time, and he was the man that got the assist for Mitrovic to just smash it past the keeper and confirm us as finishing top of the relegation group. And that means that we will be facing Sepsi in the first of a possible 2 matches in today's episode. But before we get to that, there's a few bits of admin to take care of. So Jeremy Van Mullen has been on loan to us from Sparta Rotterdam, and I was wanting to extend his loan deal. So I went in to try and extend his loan deal, but then noticed that his contract with Sparta Rotterdam expires at the end of this month. So we have signed Jeremy Van Mullen permanently for Steaua Bucharest. I think he's been one of our better players this season. He's definitely been one of our regular starters, and he's only 25. I think he's a great signing for the side. So he's joining permanently on the 1st of July. And then there's a few new contracts being awarded to a couple of the players whose contracts were expiring at the end of this month as well. Stefan Pasionel has, in my view, earned his place in the squad. So he's been signed on for another 2 years. He's not the only one. Dimsu Halep has also been signed on for another 2 years. A young player, he's still got potential. He's played quite a lot for us this season, and he's managed to grab goals and assists as well when he's played. And again, before we get into the game, this is... Well, it's not really the league table. This was the league table before the league split, but it tells you who's been relegated and such things. So FCSB have won the league. Might be better actually for me to go in here. Yeah, so FCSB have won the league. FC Arges have qualified for the Europa Conference League, and Rapid Bucharest have also qualified for the Europa Conference League because they went on to win the Romanian Cup. As far as relegation, Universitatea Cluj and Polytechnic Timoswara were automatically relegated. You, of course, know that ourselves and Sepsi are playing the European Places playoff. And then Voluntari and FCU Craiova finished in the relegation playoff places. So this is the usual lineup that we're playing today in this first game against Sepsi. So it's, as always, Tomaniga in goal, Soma Van Mullum, Moldovan in central defence, Stefan Dragici at right wing, Jovan Mitrovic at left wing, Stefan Passionel and Julian Bedea in the centre of midfield, Emilian Passionel as attacking centre midfielder with Huiban and Halep up top. We only have 5 subs for this game, so we've had to leave a few players out. Capacci and Bruno have been left out, unfortunately, but you never know, they might be able to play in the next game. Donos is injured. You'll notice he's missing, so he's out for between 4 and 5 weeks. Yeah, he's got a twisted ankle, so he's going to be out for between 9 days and 4 weeks. So he'll miss the final if we do get there, which is unfortunate for him because he has been one of our... Well, he's been an alright player this season. I was going to say he's been one of our better players, but he hasn't actually performed that well this season. Not as well as previous seasons. But without any further ado, let's get into this big game, probably the biggest game that we've had, definitely the biggest game that we've had since taking charge of Steaua Bucharest. I'd argue this is bigger than the cup semi-final because we didn't really try in that one. I appear to have selected someone outside of the subs allowance. That's Claudio Donos. We'll take him out. So first chance of the game, Dragici with a free kick into the box, and it's a header from us, but I don't know who it was. It was Moldovan, I think. He's just headed that wide. Great chance for us early on. Throw in for Sepsi, just inside our half. It's Achabar with the ball. Back to the throw-in taker, Butean. He plays that back to Capatina. Now Florescu. Forward to Shirchikov. Back to Akibar. Akibar with a shot, and that's just over the bar. There was a lot of power behind that effort, but he couldn't get it on target. A very late chance in this first half. Barbit with a corner. Gagon's there. Mitrovic has had to clear that off the line. In first half injury time, Mitrovic, the saviour, is there is the half-time whistle, and it has finished that first half 0-0. Very even game. Sepsi just edging it on the possession front and on the shots front, to be fair to them. They've got a better XG as well. So a bit of work for us to do in the second half. So Tomaniga has the ball in his hand. No, he doesn't. It's a free kick for Sepsi. That misled me, that started the highlight. Capatina with the free kick. Tomaniga has to pull off a world-class save there to keep us level at 0-0, and it's a corner for Sepsi. Barbut takes the corner from the right-hand side, headed away from Stefan Dragici there, and I thought we almost were going to get a counter-attacking opportunity there, but we didn't. Another free kick for Sepsi. Akabar into the box, back post, Barbut. The keeper is out of position, but he's managed to save it anyway, and it's cleared further by Stefan Passionel. So we're 64 minutes into the game. Jovan Mitrovic is having a bit of a stinker out there today, so he's going to come off. Marcus Susmia is going to come on. He, of course, scored the opening goal in the Polytechnic Timoswara game in his first game since having his loan deal extended, so hopefully he can do something similar today. Elsewhere, Bedea isn't having a great time out there, but he's looking motivated. I'm sort of tempted to... I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring Lonchar on for Bedea and do the thing where I drop him down to the defensive midfielder, and we'll confirm those changes there. So Lonchar with the ball, and that's a misplaced pass from him, so not the best start for Goran Lonchar after coming off the bench. Now Sepsi coming forward with it. It's Bayram trying to get past our defender, plays it inside to Akabar. Back to Oprut, forward to Bayram again. We could really do making a challenge here. It's Barbut to Capatina. Back to Grigori, now Florescu. Out wide left to Oprut. Inside to Akabar. Back out wide left to Bayram. Bayram with a chance to get a ball in possibly here. Plays it back to Florescu instead. And Florescu is dawdling, but he plays a ball to Chunchka. No, he doesn't. He plays to Barbut, and Barbut scored. Christy Barbut has got the first goal of the game, and we're 1-0 down. Florescu with the ball over. I thought it was for Chunchikov, but it wasn't. It was for Barbut, and Barbut finishes it well. Right. Now I'm going to do a risky change here. So Passionel is looking nervous out there. He's not having a great game either. Nicholas Burel, who I've rarely, if ever, played at attacking centre midfield, is looking motivated. So we're going to bring him on and see if that motivation can help fire us back into this game. We're also now going to switch to attacking because the game is getting away from us. That is a disappointing result. A 1-0 defeat to Sepsi. I really thought we could do it. We beat them on the last day of the season as well. To be fair, they were the better team today. They created more chances than us. We didn't really do much. Can't complain. It's just a bit annoying. This was our first chance at getting close to a European competition, but I guess there's always next season. We've finished this season very well, but I'll go over that in a little bit. So it's time for the end of season review. Unfortunately, our season ending a bit sooner than we'd hoped, but we like I said, we did well to finish where we did, but we'll run through that now. So we'll have a look at the transfers first of all. So in terms of incoming transfers, Jeremy Van Mullen, rightfully rated an A+ by the board, and excited to sign him on loan, and getting a quality player for no transfer fee is an outstanding piece of business. And also, he played 33 times, he got 3 assists, and he had an average rating of 7.01. And next season, he'll be in this list as well, because we've obviously permanently signed him. Goran Lonshaw, my opinion and the board's opinion, another great signing. They're pleased to see that the minimum fee release clause of £375,000 would mean an excellent deal for the club if it was ever triggered. So they're just looking at the financial aspect of it. But in terms of a playing aspect, he's done well for us. He's come off the bench a few times at the back end of the season to play in defensive midfield. He started there a few times, and he's been playing at right back for the first portion of the season. Not a great average rating, but he's still done a job for us. Next up is Mediop. The board had a C rating for this. They were just content with the deal. Of course, he is on the older side of the football spectrum, I would say. 33 years old. He's played 19 times, 6 times off the bench, scored 5, assisted 3, and got an okay average rating. His contract is up at the end of this month, and I'm looking into other opportunities, other prospects to possibly not re-sign him and get someone a bit younger in. Got a few players on trial, but nothing concrete yet. Marco Suznia, another decent signing, an A+ rating from the board, and he's done okay this season. He's played 22 times for us, scored 4 goals, assisted 3, 6.79 average rating. He's very young, and we've got him on loan again until the end of next season. And then the final incoming, the board sort of saw how this one was going to end, I think. The board rated him an F, and he's turned out to be that. He's not played many times for us. He's managed 2 assists, got an average rating of 6.67, but his contract's up at the end of the month, and he's not being re-signed. I got given a dodgy scout report. That's all I'm going to say. Now for the outgoings, I'll not spend much time on these because I don't really remember half of them. But Robert Niaxiu went to Metalurgistul Kyrgyz. The board said it was a C rating. He's done all right for them. He's played 15 times, 2 goals, 4 assists, 6.89 average rating. Alexandru Zaharia, he was one of our key players in our promotion season from Liga 2. The board rated this sale as a C+. Of course, this was a free transfer. I think he might have even been released. Can't fully remember. He's not played many times for his new club. Adrian Illy, of course, left us in January, I think, or around the January transfer window. He signed a pre-contract agreement with Untitled Chapter, and then we just sold him for $2,500, which I thought was a decent amount of money. But the board felt that we could have got a higher transfer fee for him. Don't think we could have. He's played 9 times for them, 6.48 average rating, not great. And then Reris Anchianu, he went to Aerostar Bacau. The board was satisfied with our decision to release him, and I'm guessing they're on to very active team in the game because he's not played for them. In terms of loans, we've had a few players out on loan this season. Wallace, our veteran centre-back, the free kick expert, free kick master, has been out on loan at FC Buzău all season. That's brought in a nice $2,500 just about that loan deal, and he's played for them as well. He's played quite well for them, an average rating of 7.06. He's even managed 2 goals, but he is retiring at the end of the season, so his last season was not with us, unfortunately for him. We've also had Nick loaned out to Timok. He's played a few times for them, not a great average rating. His contract's up at the end of the season, not renewing that either. And then Bogdan Chaperlu, of course, was having such a torrid time at Otolul Galati that he requested to be recalled from his loan. And I believe his contract is up at the end. No, it's not. It's up at the end of next season. So we're going to have to try and offload him, I think, in the summer. Not sure anyone's going to want him because I tried it last summer and it didn't work. He only played once for his loan club. Now let's take a look at the season's results. So the board expectation was to fight bravely against relegation. And for most of the season, it looked like that was exactly what we were going to do up until the relegation group stage, I would say, where we somehow managed to find form and end up finishing top of the relegation group stage. We looked like we were going to be fighting relegation. But we turned it around. And the board gave us an A+, and they're delighted that we achieved a mid-table position within Liga 1 this season. Dragos Wiban was our top scorer. We had filled 27% of our stadium. Not sure how much that compares to last season. And then the Romanian Cup, we were expected to reach the 6th round. We actually made it all the way to the semi-final, and the board have given us a B- in that one. Moments to remember. So our biggest win was against Steaua Bucharest. It wasn't against Steaua Bucharest. Where's Steaua Bucharest? Our biggest win was against Farul Constanta, a 4-0 victory. That was one of those games in the back end of the season where we found our form. And our match to remember was a 2-1 victory over Universitatea Craiova. Goal of the season coming from Pasionel. I believe that's Emilian Pasionel. And one of his goals from his hat-trick where he hit a curled effort from 22 metres. I think that was one from the edge of the box. I do remember that one. Finances, so sponsorship is around the same as last season. Broadcast revenues a hell of a lot more than last season, which has really helped our finances, I imagine. Corporate and hospitality is a little bit more as well. Competition prize money is more as well because of the cup run, I would imagine. And our league position gave us like 75 grand too. And then matchday commercial and retail is a bit more than last season as well. Shirt sales, most popular shirts were Wiban, Dragici, Badea, Pasionel and Mediop. 4 of them, I would strongly agree with Mediop. Maybe that was just because he was a new signing. And now for our best 11. So they're playing us in our 4-2-3-1, which we played most of the season with, to be fair. So Tomaniga in goal, he's rarely missed a game for us this season in all competitions. Goran Lonchar at right back, Moldovan into summer in central defence, and then Razvan Onea at left back. Of course, Razvan Onea, I almost forgot about him. He was on loan with us up until April, but his club wouldn't allow us to re-sign him on loan. He did do very well for us, to be fair to him. Badea and Pasionel are the centre midfielders in this 11. Dragici on the right wing, Pasionel as attacking centre midfielder, and Suznyar on the attacking left. Suznyar was our starting attacking left winger for most of the season up until the back end when Mitrovic sort of pushed him out of the squad. And then Wiban was... he sort of drifted off in the middle of the season. He had a good start of the season, drifted off in the middle, and then came good again in the end. Now for the accolades, and one that I didn't mention. Don't like to toot my own horn, but I did win Manager of the Month for May. That was the month where, well, we played 5 league games and I won all 5. 100% record. Not to toot my own horn, as I say. As far as the club awards, so the Fans Player of the Season award goes to Andre Moldovan, as does the Young Player of the Season award. I would really like to get him again next season. I'm not sure that's going to be possible. We definitely don't have the transfer budget to sign him permanently, and they don't want to loan him to us at the moment. Signing of the season is Mediop, apparently. I would have argued Jeremy Van Mullen was, but I guess he wasn't a permanent signing, so yeah. Goal of the season, Emilian Pasionel, which we've already talked about. Top goal scorer, Dragos Wiban with 13 goals. Stefan Dragici got the most assists with 9 goals. Dimsu Halle picked up 4 Player of the Match awards. Andre Moldovan had the highest average rating of 7.1, and Jeremy Van Mullen completed the most passes per 90 minutes with 52. Competition awards haven't been announced yet. Record breakers, so most overall goals by a player in a season and most league goals by a player in a season has been broken by Dragos Wiban with 13 and 12 respectively. Most goals by a player in a match and most goals by a player in a league match has been broken by Julian Badea with 3. And then most clean sheets by a player in a season, Tomaniga with 13. And worst discipline, Vincenzo De Sommer with 10 yellow cards and 1 red card. So after that season, we've had 3 new players inducted into the overall best 11 squad. They are Nicholas Burel, Julian Badea and Jeremy Van Mullen. Badea and Van Mullen, actually all 3 of them being placed on the bench. So this is the board's vision for next season and the 5-year plan. So they're not really trying to improve very much. We've got to fight bravely against relegation again next season. And play defensively solid football and counter-attacking football, which I think was in last year's as well. The only thing we don't have to do now is sign players under the age of 23 for the first team or repair the club's financial damage. So I'll I'll accept that one. I would like to try and improve our expectation, but that it says there, minimum expectations to be negotiated later. So we'll just confirm that vision. In terms of squad dynamics, if you want to have a look at it, dressing room atmosphere is very good. Managerial support is also very good. We'll see if anyone doesn't like me when we go to the hierarchy screen. And there's no one that opposes me. There's a few players that have no opinion of me, but the majority do support me as manager. So these end of season team meetings are always a difficult one, but I'm gonna stick with the board's expectation of fight relegation, and that was a safe option, so everyone's looking pleased. I'll do some promises as well because they normally tell me off if I don't. I'll say about the one where if a good enough offer is made for you, we won't stand in your way as a club. That's not really worked. And I'm going to improve the defence. No, okay, that's enough promises for the time being. Everyone's looking positive still, which is always good after one of these. So this one I always find this one funny in Romania because they don't really have much of a summer break, it seems. So the squad have now gone on holiday. It's the 6th of June, and players will report back for training on the 10th of June. That's 4 days' time, a nice 4-day break for them for the summer holidays. And we've had the result of the European Places playoff final, and it was a resounding victory for the team from the champions stage of the league. Metan Medias smashing Sepsi by 4-0. Accolades, who was very, very good in the game against us, getting sent off after just 5 minutes, sort of leaving his teammates in the lurch there. So Metan Medias getting that final European place. So here we go, there's some records coming in the news. So record low number of league draws for us this season. That's not a real record because I'm pretty sure we would have drawn in the actual full stage of the league. I think this is just for the relegation stage. Let's have a look. Yeah, we had 5 draws in the league stage. We obviously had no draws in the relegation stage because I didn't even realise we went unbeaten. We won all 9 games. Madness. Oh, and I've made an error. I've made a grave error. João Bruno has been given an automatic 1-year extension due to us avoiding relegation and him having played 5 league games. I forgot about that clause in his contract. So João Bruno is not going to be leaving us this season. And we've been hit with a pretty heavy tax bill of £100,000. That's going to give our finances a bit of a whack. Although our finances are looking quite healthy at the minute, 445 grand. But that's much needed because we have a wage budget of 14.5 grand, but we've committed spending of almost 16 grand. So we're going to have to try and get that money back from somewhere. So I think I'm going to stop advancing now, but we are on the first day of pre-season training now, and I've just been informed that Emilian Pasinel and Jovan Mitrovic have new playing time expectations for this season, and they're completely fine with me because they are both part of my starting 11. So changing them up to a regular starter is completely fine. So just thinking ahead to what we're going to have to do in the transfer market, you can see we've got quite a small squad at the moment. So we're going to have to bring in some loan signings. I would imagine we do, of course, have some loan signings here. I've just clicked that off because I've got some trial players in. But of course, we do have Susniar still next season and Van Mullum signing permanently. Andre Moldovan, of course, is probably going to be leaving us. So we will have to go into the market for a centre-back. I'll probably go into the market for a striker as well, to replace Mediop, who will be leaving us, and also probably a centre attacker midfielder, as well as any depth in other positions. But I'll not make the same mistake as last season when I signed too many foreign players, because that was a bit of a ball ache. But looking ahead to the next episode, we'll be back with the first game of the new season, and I'll run through any transfers that we've made then, and anything else that's gone on as well. But that is it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel to get all my content when it comes out, hit the notification bell to stay notified, and I'll see you next time.